How you doing? Just a quick video, but I'm going to throw another link in. See you in a bit. Cheers. Now then, you alright? How you doing? Oh my god, he's got another camera. So, this little thing is the Tornado 1-in-144 that I'm currently building as a bit of a, come on then Mark, let's see what you've got. And it's glossed, it's painted and glossed. Canopy's masked, nose is done. The only thing that I need to do is obviously decal it, and I've got a little bit of armament to add as well. Pin wash, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Now, Nigel down at the club, you know, set me the challenge, and I've got to admit, when I've looked at the sprues, especially for the undercarriage, not that, that's pylons. When I look at, we've got some missiles and that's fine, but when I've looked at the undercarriage there, it just seems so brittle, it really does, that as a display piece, I'm not quite sure whether it'd hold. However, when I've started building it, and you know I'm a Tornado fan, I've got loads up in cabinet up there. Some 32s and some 48s, and I've even got a 72 to do as well. But when I've looked at this, I've sort of thought, do you know what, that looks so sweet, and I have actually decided what I'm going to do with it, Nige. I'm going to put it in my car, mate, dangling from my rear view mirror. I'm going to decal it all up. I'll probably do it with fishing line, mate, to be absolutely honest. But I'm going to decal it all up, get some pylon, get some weapons on it, mate, and I'm going to hang it in whatever sort of pose it falls in, really, from my rear view window in my car, because, you know, it's just to sort of, it's not to remind me of what I do, because I know what I do, but you never know, you know, you might be parked up in a car park somewhere and the guy outside here just happens to glance across and sees this little beast dangling from my rear view mirror and thinks, yeah, nice, okay. So that is what I'm going to do with it. I've blacked the tail up. I know that it might be a little bit difficult to see. I've put the soot on. As far as buckets out are concerned, Ev, obviously that didn't happen, mate. You know, it's this little bird. I don't know if you can get it in, but, you know, it's literally as long as my finger. I know my hands are mucky because I've just finished work, but that's how big it is. So once it's sorted and finished and deckled and pin washed, it's going in my car. So so that's that. However, point number two. So point number two was, you know, if you've watched my videos and I slip a couple of naughty shots across fronts, you know, down in bottom corner, and some relevant, some irrelevant, some it's not. It's just a bit of cheeky banter, that's all. It's just a bit of cheeky banter, all right? But I'm hoping if this video has gone to plan, then you're watching this on a full screen and literally within 10-20 seconds it's going to disappear and I'm going to come back. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see. If it's worked, it's worked. If it hasn't worked, right, if it hasn't worked, don't stress about it because I'm still practicing. I'm still practicing, right? Okay, I have got another camera coming, and I'm hoping that I can do some kind of link-up shot. So we'll have to wait and see. However, for now, back over to Mark. Cheers. So hopefully, if everything's gone according to plan, now you're back with me and not with me up there. It's, you watch videos, don't you, all the time on YouTube, you know, and there's no other way to describe it really. When people have got multiple angle shots and they're looking above and they're looking at what you're doing, and you can see people cutting bits off sprue and narrating it and one thing and another. If you've ever tried to make one, they are complex little snippets of your life really, because you're trying to obviously keep the people who are watching entertained. You know, that's number one. Entertained but informed at the same time, obviously depending on what you're building. So, you know, whatever build that you've got on the go at that particular moment in time, depending on how much depth that you want to go into it, what your narrative is, how your dialogue is, how you come across, you've literally got to think of everything. I know that I looked on, I think, it might have been Facebook or YouTube a while ago. Facebook, I think it was. And there were a right old rant on, because some guy had made a video. I can't remember what it was, but some guy had made a video and he didn't script what he was trying to articulate. So he's like me, he's just making it all up, you know what I mean? It's like you sat here in your shed, nice and quiet, and he's just spouting it out, because that's, you know, natural, it's natural. I have done dialogue in the past where I've written it down and I've taken pictures, and on a live stream, you know, you're just going for it. And when you're talking to your friends and people on Facebook and one thing and another, and different aspects of social media, it's natural, isn't it? It just flows. Whereas when you're trying to make a video, you've literally got to think of absolutely everything. Even down to your phone making notification sounds if you work off your phone, which is what I do. Down to, you know, what sort of content that you want, where you're up to in the build, what you're trying to explain, how much detail you want to go into, is the wording right, and the synchronization as well of, if you overdub your voice and what you're trying to say onto a video, you can do that. You can film a video literally in the quiet, or you can mute it, and then you can add dialogue on top. But I've tried that, and I tell you what, hats off to anybody that does that, because it is so difficult. You're literally having to sort of pause it, go back. You know, you've got a sheet of paper outside here, or your memory or whatever, and you've got 4.5 seconds to say what you want to say. And it is incredibly difficult, as daft as it sounds. And again, I've said it in the past, hats off to the people that actually do that. I mean, they you know, don't get me wrong, they've probably got a laptop or a computer, 2 or 3 cameras, GoPro, that kind of thing, and they'll all be all that information will be downloaded into a software app. And then you sat at a computer then, literally editing, adding music, adding sort of overlays and screenshots, and trying to, basically what we're trying to do is trying to tell a story of what it is that you're building. And again, you have to look at that and say, am I trying to entertain you, or am I trying to make it as informative as I possibly can, or am I trying to do both? Have I built the kit and now I'm showing you, you know, through a series of pictures how it's all come together and what the pitfalls were, which is usually what I do. You know, I sort of stated on previous videos that I'm not a big sort of unboxing fan, because at the end of the day, when you're a modeler, and whether you're doing it on your lap, at your dining table, in your spare bedroom, in your shed, in your garage, my car's on the street, I'm sat in garage. No matter what you're trying to do, when you have to look at all those different components, it can become, it's not tedious because it's enjoyable, but it's not easy. It's actually hard work. You're trying to compose something so that when you post that onto YouTube, right? You know, and if you're looking for model specific, you'll go onto search bar, don't you? And you type it in, you know, Airfix King Tiger 1 in 35 or Revell Tornado or whatever. And you're hoping that I'm a viewer as well, right? And but what we're hoping for is that when you're trying to sell that to somebody, they're sat at home, on the dinner at work, in the car, wherever, and when the on your YouTube home screen, you know, you've got all your recommendations that come up, and you're just hoping, you are hoping that, you know, unless you've got like 675,000 subscribers. If you're like me, I'm nearly up at 300 now, which is like, whatever. Can't believe it. But you're hoping that your video comes onto that recommendation thing, and as an audience that is watching it will participate, will go, I'll have a bit of that, play. And whether you watch it all or whether you get bored after 2 minutes and say, it's bloody rubbish this, it's not what I expected. And that's one of the quandaries that you've got, what you expected. I have said, and I push on my videos that you're watching now, I will say, oh, you know, Plasmo, do you watch him? Well, I do, yeah. It's not because I ever think I will be able to produce the standard that he produces. That's not why I watch it. I watch it because it's entertaining and it's informative. Now, you know, I'm just trying to think of them now off the top of my head. So I watch Greg as well, Greg Phillips, and his videos are more informative, really. I don't mean that disrespectfully, of course, because I think he's absolutely phenomenal bloke. But his videos are more swayed towards the informative. You'll watch Greg build the Chinook, and his dialogue is absolutely spot on. His camera angles are spot on. You know, everything's, I'm going to say in focus then, but they're not. That's great. That sort of like keeps it real, doesn't it? He'll go, come on, camera focus, and he'll put his fingers up and one thing and another. You know, and you've got all these things that you have to sort of like worry about. So Greg's more of like an informative kind of builder. He'll show you the stages and what he's done. He sort of focuses on what you have to do to correct a kit. Then you've got people like Zach on ZTE Works. Now, for me, he only done a couple of videos, 3 or 4, but his tank builds, especially, when you listen to that narrative and he's telling you about road wheels and return rollers, how tricky things are, what is missing. You know, he'll come across a kit and he'll say, according to the diagram, it's got 2 lights on it. Wrong, should have 1 light on it. He says it better than that, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't even try. But it should have 1 light on it because the port side is missing. It should have a £15 sledgehammer on this side, but the supplier one, it's only a £5 lump hammer. And you watch his videos and you think, chuffing hell, that lad's put some research into this. So Plasmo and Greg and Zach on ZTE Works, definitely, you know, I would definitely recommend them. Tom's Modelling in Motion. Tom is just a work of art all on his own. How he does the stop motion videos are absolutely mind-blowing. That's obviously not a part-time gig for Tom. That's something that Tom's really, really into, and it shows in spades on his videos because they're just absolute masterpieces. You've got more informative builders who will do fantastic inbox reviews. So, oh, got a little fly. Sorry. So you've let me have a think. You've got Phil Flory, articulates an inbox review very, very well. And then you've got Bobby Waldron at Genesis Models. Again, he will talk you through an inbox, but he will also do a stage-by-stage build, and he'll show you through, and he'll show you sort of what areas to look for, how to complete a model, what pitfalls are, etc., etc. So there's an absolute multitude of channels that, you know, we are drawn in to watch. If I put a still shot up of all the people who I subscribe to, what I try and do personally is have a very broad sort of outlook, if you will. If I want to learn about a kit that has got pitfalls in it, I will watch Bobby. If I want to watch a video on a specific kit and I'm hoping that he's built it, fingers crossed, and what the best way to tackle that and what sort of, you know, this were wrong, that weren't in that particular aircraft, this were that, and I'll watch Greg's videos. If I want to be specifically entertained, I will watch one of Plasmo's videos, because talking about going the extra mile, when I watch his videos and I think, chuffing hell, that looks absolutely mint. You know, and you can see bar going across at the bottom of the screen down here on run time. And it's built and done and superb, and I'd be happy with that. And you look at bar, out of a 30-minute video, he's only been going 9 minutes, and you think, Jesus Christ, well, you know, what else can he possibly do to this? But he does, doesn't he? And that's why we love him, because he just takes it to the nth degree. However, I'm waffling. What I've come on to say is, hopefully by now, I can't see time on my video, I record on my phone, and because the runtime is white, and this is a sort of white table, I can't see how long I've been going. The reason that I'm posting this video today is because I've got a new gadget. It's basically an extendable arm that I can clip my phone into and it'll look down. And that's what I want to try. Dave at Club, he's going to bring me a spare camera. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and sort of hook that up to my phone if I can. If I can't, it's probably going to be a laptop job, because it's not envy. But you're emulating, aren't you? When you see people and you go, I'm recording on my phone, but I can't hold my phone with one hand or in a static position and focus it and build on other. And, you know, do people want to see me cutting pieces of plastic off a sprue? Do they want to see me sanding it down? Do they want to see me touching it with glue and sort of gluing it? Do they want to see that? And I'm a punter as well, so I'll ask myself that question. Yeah, I suppose you do, really, because you just, you know, it's all part of the process, isn't it? It's all part of the process about what you want to see. And that video has got to be good enough to hook me for its entire length. When you start looking analytically on videos and saying, I've only got a certain attention span, I'm sure that like 50% of you have turned off already. But you have to watch it later. But, you know, you can, when you look at your analytics scale on YouTube Studio, you can see how many people have watched, how long the average duration is, where they've dropped off, where people have come on, where they've fast forwarded to, where they've rewound. Absolutely everything on there, YouTube Studio. And for those of you that make videos that just leave your thumbnail, which is what it is, YouTube takes a screenshot of a certain section in time, and that is the picture that you'll see on YouTube. But if you go into YouTube Studio and sort of digest everything that's in there, you will see that you can go to your videos, you can take a shot that you want. If you've noticed on mine, I think the last 2 or 3, it's got me ugly mug on. Normally it's got a picture of the aircraft or the build or one thing or another with a couple of overlays on. My last couple have got a picture of me on. I've been using YouTube Studio for about 12 months so that I can change the thumbnail, the picture that you see that has brought you to watch this video. Obviously, you know, a lot of you subscribe, so at some point you're going to get a sting and an email if you get that, and a notification and one thing and another. But you want something recognizable that you can sort of instantly see and think, I know that guy, I know that video, I know that producer, and I want to watch it. So a thumbnail's quite important, and you can do that on YouTube Studio. Okay, I just thought I'd share that with you, just in case, because, you know, nobody comes, and when you think, oh, I want to make a video while I'm building this Spitfire, there's nobody comes and knocks on the door and says, hey, mate, before you start recording, just bear in mind, you might want to think about this, and you don't forget this. And there's nobody comes and tells you that. You can YouTube how to make a video. You can actually YouTube how to make a YouTube video. And again, there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of videos that are out there that explain everything in a much clearer way than I possibly could. The whole purpose of this video, I want to wrap it up for you. I've kept you long enough. The whole purpose of this video was I have got a little piece of new kit. It's just like an extendable arm. It shows my camera going down. And the software that I use on my phone, I do believe, allows me to overlay not only a picture now, but a video. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that that is what you've seen. Tornado, I've explained it about 20 minutes ago. So if you want to catch up with that, you'll have to rewind it a little bit. As far as building is concerned, obviously I want to finish that off. I have got the King Tiger. That video's down there somewhere. I've got another tornado. I've got some kits coming as well. A couple of kits that a nice chap has said, you know what, Mark, I love your work, and I'm not going to see you go out, mate. Here, knock a couple of these out. So fingers crossed they're sort of on the way on a boat, and we'll send them more. All right. The tank is going to wait because I've got a little bit of dollar coming, and I want to do it in MRP. Again, if you've watched a couple of my previous videos, go back and scroll down. You'll see that I have fallen for this paint, this MRP paint. And I want to do a credible job, the best that I can anyway. Certainly not going to be anything like, but I want to do the best credible job that I can in respect of Paul Radcliffe. Paul, that's actually given me this kit. Kits aren't free, you know. Paul's bought it, and he's given it to me, and that's why I was talking about the modelling community in the last video. All right, because it can be a really, really nice place to be. So what am I going to build next? Definitely not the tank, because I want to get the paint right, and I have to do a lot of research on that before I just start ploughing straight in. I've got a 1 in 48 tornado there, and I've got a 1 in 72 tornado up there that you can't see, and I might I want to do that one as well, but again, I want to do MRP. I want to do MRP paint on it, so I shall probably do the 1 in 72 tornado next to put with the rest of my stash, rest of my builds. All right, so that'll do for now. Thanks for watching. If you've stayed till the end, I really appreciate it. If you want to drop a comment below on how you think that overhead shot went, you know, did it help you, bearing in mind of what I've just talked about with the entertainment part and one thing and another. Obviously, the one whole sort of like educational part in there. But if you want to drop a comment below, I do read them. And for the majority of them are nice. I know that there's 1 or 2 rivet counters that have popped onto my videos in past and said, that's wrong. Mate, I know, I'm not a professional, right? So I just don't look at where I'm sat. I'm sat in my shed, right? So I'm not a pro, right? I just enjoy it for what it is. But feel free to leave a comment. If it's trolling, I'll just scroll past because I ain't got time for you. But if it's a nice comment, you know, or something along those lines, then I'll give it a read, and I usually give it a thumbs up or a love either. All right, stay safe. We're done. We're done. Stay safe. Take care, because there's no on shelves, is there? And we're running out of petrol. So stay at home and build some kits. Stay safe, take care. I will catch you later. Cheers.